Okay, so for week 2 of fall anime, I'll keep this video kind of quick just because we already reviewed week 1, so the shows just keep going. There's actually a new show that I've been watching that I want to talk about, Ousama Ranking, that I missed last week. Apparently it got hyped up. I kind of didn't bother checking it out at first just because the character's like this little boy, so I'm like, oh, it's probably boring, childish. And then you watch it, there's like emotional pulls, heartstrings, like friends, suffering. There's a lot of like creative things in this anime, so yeah, I'm kind of excited. The characters are pretty cool. I think the one thing that sold me is when I saw the OP. Bojji, like the main character, he's just like Vladimir Putin Walking. He has his whole squad with him. So, like, that was kind of hilarious. So, yeah, what is this anime about? Well, it follows, like, this dude Bojji, who's like a prince in the kingdom. He's the first prince. So, he's in line to be the king. And then Bojji's dad is kind of like this big king. He's like huge, muscular. And I think his story was that, like, he basically saved the kingdom from, like, attacking demons. He kind of reminds me of Thor's from Vinland Saga, where like it's like the badass father, and the son is kind of like following in the footsteps. So yeah, Boji's like really tiny. He has like this cool like little crown on his head. He's just like walking around. The main thing is that he's deaf, so he's having trouble communicating. People kind of make fun of him for that, and they don't think he's fit to be the king. So then yeah, Boji's just like laughing, smiling, and walking. But like inside he's crying because people are just like hating on him, judging him. His own mom is like, "Oh, your brother died. I should be in line for the king, not you." So yeah, Boji's going through a lot of suffering. Thing is, he makes this friend Kage, who's like this little shadow creature. And then yeah, Kage's by himself. He kind of had a struggle of his own because like his whole race got like genocided randomly. So yeah, Kage and Bojji become friends. Kage actually meets up with Bojji and's like, "Yo, give me your clothes," and then Bojji's like, "Yeah, sure." And then Kage realizes that Bojji can understand him. So this is kind of Bojji's power that no one really realizes. He has like super cool perception. So like he can kind of like see things, he can read lips easily, he can kind of like dodge, and then yeah, he has like a lot of finesse, so that's his power. In his brother Daida, he kind of like has strength, that's his power. So in episode 1 we see like Bojji and Daida just squaring off fighting in like a sword fight, and you thought like, oh, Boji's like this kind of goofy dude, no way he's gonna beat Daida. And then we see him dodging left and right, ducking. So Bojji has some like cool powers of his own where he's like pretty high dexterity. But then people like watching the fight are like judging them. They're like, that's not how a king's supposed to fight. That's so cowardly. So then, yeah, he has to kind of like sit there and take that as punishment just to like save face. And yeah, it looks like Bojji and Kage, they're friends. Bojji's probably gonna like expand his squad of friends and maybe like prove to everyone that he can be a king. So yeah, a lot to look forward to. This anime is by Whip Studios. It is 23 episodes, so it's gonna be a two-core. And it's based on a web manga, so there's probably like a lot of like cool story and art. So yeah, maybe check it out. Like I heard so much high praise, like this is gonna be a low key end of the anime of the season. You better watch this. And then I saw that, I'm like, yeah, I agree. It's pretty good. A unique anime with a cool story. Yeah, I'm totally down. And then after that, we have Takt Op Destiny episode 3. So it kind of like continues on with Tact and Kosato, how they kind of got attacked during their festival. And then Kosato transformed into Destiny, the magical girl, the music art. And she starts fighting the D2s, but since she just awakened her power, she gets really weak very easily and just faints. But then they get saved. So yeah, we see some two new characters, Lenny and Titan. So Lenny's kind of like a huge, tall, friendly dude. He's pretty charismatic and he saves Tact and Destiny with his music art Titan, who's like this short girl. So it's kind of funny. Her name is Titan, but she's like really short. But I think she carries a hammer as her weapon. And yeah, she saves them, and then they kind of give us the exposition. Oh yeah, you're a music art now. Thing is, for Destiny, the music arts in this universe, like they need like years of training to actually transform into one, and she just like transformed like randomly out of like emotional need to protect Tact. So that's like the first case this ever happened. So yeah, it's like they're kind of unstable because they don't have like a connection together really. So like when Destiny uses her power, it kind of drains power from Tact. So it's like she's kind of like feeding off Tact, which is like dangerous for the both of them. So that's why their goal is to go to New York because there's a research facility there. So I guess like yeah, we finally know why they're going on a huge road trip because Destiny's like this weird ass case of just like being transformed into a music art. So they need to kind of stabilize her, or else she'll like kind of like kill herself. Also, we realized that once you transform into a music art, your main body, you kind of forget all your memories. You get reborn into this new person. So yeah, that's why Destiny kind of acts weird. Like people are calling her Kosato, but she's like, "No, my name is Destiny." So yeah, the same thing happened to Titan where, the original girl kind of died and now it's like a totally new personality. So yeah, Kosato was like really nice and cool before, and now Destiny's like kind of cold. She's like robotic, monotonous, and she only has like one goal, which is defeat all the D2s. And she also likes eating sweets. So those are her two main character traits. But then yeah, we see all the characters hanging out. There was like an actual D2 attack coming on near them, so Destiny goes and tries to fight it off. And then yeah, she does it, but she blows up Takt's house. So yeah, that piano got blown up, everything got blown up, and Takt's like, nah, it's fine, we about to leave. So yeah, I guess that confirms they're going on their road trip now. And yeah, pretty cool episode where we meet some new characters, and then we see like, oh yeah, all these cool music arts, they're out here. We don't fully know 100% their backstory, but this is kind of a cool setup so far. The first 3 episodes. Now we finally have the whole premise of like why we're going to New York. And I guess we'll fight some more aliens, meet some more music arts, and hopefully experience some more cool action scenes. Okay, so for Mieruko-chan, episode 4. Probably one of my favorite episodes this week, mainly because of yeah, they're continuing on with the cute story, just like Mieruko-chan suffering. She's like trying to be monotonous, but yeah, life is difficult for her. And there was actually like some huge emotional pull in this episode, which was like pretty amazing. It was kind of a few skits. The main one was that Mieruko-chan's brother, Kyosuke, he's kind of like, he sees that his sister's acting weird, so he's like, yo, maybe she has a boyfriend, because that's what like his classmates told him. So he goes to investigate. Oh, what's she doing? And then there's like a bunch of misunderstandings. So then this dude, his genius plan is to kind of see if she has any hickeys, because that's obviously the key to know if you have a significant other. So he tries to come into the bathroom while she's taking a bath. The thing is, there's like this demon in the shower. So Mieruko-chan's all scared. She's like, oh, what do I do? I'm in the bath, I'm chilling. And then the brother comes in naked and he's like, yo, let me go in the bath with you. And Mieruko-chan's like, oh, thank you, you saved me. So it's kind of a weird incest moment. After that, kind of like the biggest, like most emotional story point happened here, which I really loved. I was not expecting this at all. So Miko goes downstairs to get breakfast the next day, and she sees her dad sitting in the dining table with everyone. And then she just doesn't say anything. She's so creeped out and weird. I thought like everything was normal. Well, there was like this huge demon behind her dad, so I thought like that was the reason. But as we see, like everything's happening, Miko's like has her pudding, and people are just talking. She's like, "Oh, I gotta leave." And then we realize that Miko's dad is actually dead. So it's not that she wasn't reacting to the demon behind the dad. The dad is also a ghost. So yeah, Miko, she wishes every day she stops seeing these ghosts, but she finally sees her dad. She can't react because if she reacts to her dad being there, then the demon behind the dad is also gonna like attack her. So what does she do? She takes her pudding, her chestnut pudding, and offers it to the dad. So I guess this is kind of like the emotional scene. Miko, she can't really acknowledge him, but like I guess it was kind of wholesome that he was always there. Overall, a cool, funny, emotional episode. It was kind of insane how good like the storytelling is so far. So I really like the supernatural, cute girls doing cute things. And I was curious, so I was counting the amount of low angle shots we'll have each episode. Here we only had one. Okay, so for Komi Can't Communicate, episode 3. Another cool episode, we made a new character, Himiko. And then she has green hair. She's kind of like a little nerdy, a little shy. So she kind of has a similar personality with Komi. So when Komi learns this, she's like, oh, maybe I can relate to her. Let's hang out. But, Komi, she sees her in the library but can't talk to her. And Himiko is like really scared. She's like, yo, why is Komi watching me? What did I do wrong? So yeah, there's like a huge misunderstanding between both of them. Himiko's just like running away from Komi, and Komi's kind of like sad for scaring her. So then yeah, another weird character, but they kind of make up in the end, and then Komi like she gets a cell phone, so she asks Himiko for her number, and she also asks Najimi, the childhood friend, for the number as well as Tadano. And then yeah, she gets some new numbers. The thing is, Himiko, she kind of doesn't want to be Komi's friend. She wants to be her dog. So yeah, we have this kind of cute, nerdy girl that's also Komi's dog slave. Also, Komi calls Tadano on the phone. Her voice is pretty nice. We actually see that she can actually talk in the phone a little bit. She's still shy, but she can actually talk, so we hear her voice. Pretty cute voice by her. Komi and Tadano also try to hang out with the popular kids during lunch to play, like, whatever games they're playing. But since Komi can't talk, it's all just, like, a funny misunderstanding happening, and Tadano is the one that suffers in the end. But yeah, overall, another episode down, another friend made. We're making smooth progress, but we will see. Okay, and now for Mushoku Tensei Part 2, Episode 4. This was a pretty chill episode. Our boys Rudius and Eris are hanging out in the animal kingdom. Eris is hanging out with like these little dog and cat girls. And then she's kind of like training them how to fight. And she's also really muscular, so Yeah, Eris is doing some huge training. And then they're hanging out in this village for like a whole month now. So yeah, that's like a long time. They made a lot of friends, but they have to soon leave, go to the next part of their mission, which is to go back to the kingdom. The thing is, like, Eris's new friends that she made, they're all sad. They're like, don't leave. Eris makes up with them in the end, and yeah, we just get some manufactured drama there. We learn some more bits about Ghislaine, the kind of like animal sword waifu. She's actually the sister of one of the dudes in the village, so we kind of like see a bit of her backstory, how like she was like a problem child, she didn't follow rules, she wasn't really good at anything, and then she kind of like got kicked out of the village. So her brother thought she'd be dead, but apparently like yeah, she's learning magic, she's teaching people, she's like really skilled at swordsmanship. She's really strong. So I guess he's kind of proud. So yeah, cool laid back episode. We kind of finished the arc with like us hanging out with the animal people. And now I guess we're gonna go back to our journey. So yeah, more stuff's gonna happen, but a pretty laid back episode. Okay, so for Platinum End episode 3, this was a pretty intense episode. I really liked it. So we see the dude that was tailing Mirai. She stabs him. It's a girl. It's his childhood friend Saki. And then she stabs him with the red arrow. So now he's just straight up in love with her. And then we also see that Mirai actually had a crush on her as well. Like they were childhood friends, so I guess. The thing is, Saki's angel, his name's Breville. He's kind of like the angel of deceit. And Nase is the angel of purity. So they kind of have like clashing opinions. But yeah, they realize that Mirai has like the elder powers, like the wings in both arrows, so he's pretty strong. So yeah, Saki kind of like asks him to be her bodyguard. So yeah, he kind of accepts, but then Nase kind of finds him and tries to rescue him. But I guess they kind of have a truce together. They're like, oh yeah, let's all hang out. I guess we can kind of lay low until we find out more about the other people. I think the main thing that happened in this episode though is that they were like kind of looking for Metropoliman. They're like, oh yeah, what's he gonna do? Is he gonna kill people? Is he gonna like challenge us? So yeah, Metropolitan wants to fight everyone. He wants to get like this over with, be the god candidate. So he kind of invites everyone into this big open stadium, and he kind of like initiates an open challenge. But then we see two new god candidates coming down, and they're like trying to fight him, but they can't pierce him with the red arrow. So yeah, that's pretty big. He has like this invulnerable armor. So I wonder like what's that all about? Maybe everyone else will have their own battle armor. Cause we also get some random lore where all these god candidates are located in Japan, and the reason is because Japan's pretty prosperous but has like a high suicide rate. So yeah, if you wanted an explanation why all these characters are in Japan being gods, there you go. But yeah, things are escalating. Like every episode, there seems to be like some cool like element to advance the story a lot. So yeah, I wonder how this fight with Metropolitan and these two other god candidates will go. Okay, so for 86 season 2 episode 4, people are preparing to like fight this like big horde of legions. They're not coming this episode, but they might come soon. And then Shin's forces, they're like there's like they have the highest casualty rate, which is yeah, people kind of like resent the 86ers now. But yeah, they're just continuing the war stuff. We see Frederica like doing stuff as well, but yeah, nothing significant really happened this episode yet. I think we got a bit of Frederica's backstory, but not that much. So we kind of know that he kind of had a protector similar to Shin, and then he like sacrificed himself. But yeah, kind of cool plot developments happening so far. But maybe the people will die, things will escalate as we continue on with the season. I guess quickly I'll go over the two romance animes. My Senpai's Annoying episode 3, where it was kind of a Christmas theme. We see more workplace romance. They kind of exchange Christmas presents. Futaba gets a new scarf, and then she gives her senpai a new tie. And for Irina, the vampire cosmonaut, I guess they're kind of talking about how space is kind of beautiful since it's like kind of pure and new. And then in Earth, there's just like a lot of wars and stuff. So yeah, more cool relationship developments. Pretty comfortable show so far. And yeah, I guess that sums up this week. Very chill, but also very emotional.